So we're still stuck in our houses and we need some stuff to watch. So I'm going to make 6 straight videos for you guys about things that you could be watching while the coronavirus has us locked up. And yes, I'll be filming them all at once, so you'll notice that I'm wearing the same shirt, but the background will change. Because I'll be damned if I'm going to be out in public and then get sneezed on by some douche nozzle who is asymptomatic and I die from ARDS. No thank you. With that being said, let's talk about the best stuff that you can watch on WAVO. So if you live in Qatar or the GCC, you're really going to dig this video because I'm going to be talking about WAVO, not Netflix or Amazon or Apple TV Plus. If you're in Qatar and you're watching this and you are subscribed to one of 2 horrible ISPs that we have, the one whose logo looks kind of like the poop emoji, you are in luck because you are now subscribed to WAVO without even having to pay for it. So make sure you go and download that app onto your phone. You can use it on your laptop, all that good stuff. So with all that being said, here are the 5 things that I think you should check out on WAVO. Number 1, Watchmen. Man, where do you start with Watchmen? This is by far the best show of the year for me. I could not believe how fantastic this show was. I honestly thought it was going to be crap because ever since Lost and Prometheus, I've never been a fan of Damon Lindelof. He's the head writer, he's the showrunner, but he crafted something that I did not think was possible. And that's a worthy sequel to Alan Moore's original book, not to the Zack Snyder movie. And I can't really go into what this show is about without spoiling so many things. Just know that this has got to be like the blackest show ever made, and I mean that in the best way possible. There's also like this strong feminist undertone. You have amazing characters. You have a fantastic cast, especially Regina King as Sister Knight, who is one of the most badass superheroes you'll ever see, especially considering that she doesn't have powers. There's this whole underlying storyline with cops and white supremacists, and oh my god, just watch it. I swear, man, you are gonna thank me later if you haven't seen this yet. Number 2, Barry. Barry was another pleasant surprise for me. You know, I like the premise. A hitman from Cleveland goes to California to do a hit, and while he's there, he accidentally walks into an acting class and decides, hey, I don't want to kill people anymore, I want to be an actor. But on top of that, you've got this whole other thread with the Albanian mafia and him trying not to kill people anymore. You have these great performances by pretty much everybody in the cast. Bill Hader, man. The thing about comedians is they're really funny and they're creative, but they're also really good at doing dark stuff because most of the time comedians have had issues in the past and they can really channel that into their work. And he and other characters do that in this show. If you love good, realistic, shocking, extremely violent action scenes, this show is for you. If you love good, solid comedy, if you love good character relationships and dynamics, this show has it. It's got 2 seasons and they still haven't even started working on the 3rd season, which is kind of depressing because after the way that season 2 ended, I really want to see what happens. Number 3, The Outsider. Outsider is one of the best Stephen King adaptations you will ever see, but all I really should have to say is Jason Bateman, Ben Mendelsohn, Jeremy Bobb, Patty Considine, Cynthia Erivo. I mean, just listen to the cast. That alone should get you to watch this show. So without getting into too much detail, it's basically a whodunit about this gruesome crime, and while the investigation is going on, a bunch of other weird things start happening that are supernatural related, of course, because this is Stephen King we're talking about. But the performances are fantastic, the cast is amazing, the story is just ridiculously good. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat, and anytime you think you have a handle on what's going on, there's going to be something thrown at you that's going to really throw you off. This isn't exactly one that the whole family's going to love because it can be, you know, a bit dark and a bit of a downer, but at the same time, it's also thrilling and very unique. I highly recommend you check this one out, especially if you love good Stephen King adaptations, or if you're like me and you love anything that Ben Mendelsohn is in. Number 4, Westworld. By now, unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard of Westworld. This is the story of an amusement park that's actually just a realistic recreation of a western town and region that is manned by robot hosts. They are the people that you interact with. Well, I say people, but they're androids. But then again, that's part of the plot. You know, are they sentient? Do they have emotions? Should they be treated the way that they're treated? And it goes into all of that stuff. And it does kind of a thing like Lost, where it goes back and forth in time, telling the story. But then again, this is written by Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother, and somebody who helps him write most of his movies. So, of course, there's going to be these time elements in there. But on top of that, you have all of these amazing actors and actresses turning in some of the best performances of their career. It's very very dark, it's very emotional, it's very violent. If you're looking for something that's fun and unique, but also dark and mysterious, this is the show for you. Yes, the second season is a little rough, but it was still good. It's still better than most of the stuff on television. The third season is halfway through at the time of recording this episode, so you might want to wait for that season to end, or you can go ahead and start watching it week by week. You know, maybe you like that anticipation, but me, I like to wait until they're all done and watch the season at once. Number 5, the young pope and the new pope. I usually don't like stuff about, anything religious because I just don't like dogmatic things. I don't like being preached to and that, but this is not that. This is the story of the youngest pope in the history of the Catholic Church. They think he's going to do one thing, but when he does become pope, he completely flips the script and does something else. And it shows basically the evolution of him as the head of the Catholic Church. Every single episode is full of dark humor and drama and twists and turns that you don't see coming. It's very creative. It's very beautifully shot and edited. Now, season 1 is called The Young Pope, and then season 2 is called The New Pope. I can't really get into why, because that would give away a lot of season 1. The cast is amazing. There are so many great actors and actresses in here, and I think, I've said that for most of these shows, but these are all HBO shows, and they tend not to skimp on the talent and the budget, and this show definitely shows that. And of course, you've got Academy Award-winning Paolo Sorrentino in charge of the show, so you know it's going to be something special. Now, I did not know that because the trailer that I saw was very weird and it did not represent what the show actually is, so I think marketing might hurt it. If you want something interesting, something that's going to teach you a lot, and something that's going to make you question different things about religion, I think you should check it out. So those are my 5 choices for what you should be watching on WowVo. Yes, the selection is kind of all over the place, but these are ones that I've actually watched and I think are pretty great, and a lot of them I didn't expect them to be. So check them out, see what you think. Let me know in the comment section below if you really liked them, if you didn't like them, or if there are other things on WowVo that you watched and you think I should talk about. So that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.